A speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I am your host today. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior, and Speedy Talk is a program for the youth where we talk about issues and matters that revolve around the youth and affect or just concern the youth. And now today we are talking about competition among friends. That is our focus for today. Competition among friends. And you know how it is, sometimes competitions arise among friends, with even when it comes to, let's say, jobs or even school related and work life and all of that. Sometimes even with personal lifestyle and growth and all of that, competitions can arise. Well, some people say, well, it's okay for our friends to compete with each other, because you hear reasons like, well, it will help everybody to grow in the friend group so that one person is not left behind. If friends compete with each other, then everyone is on their toes, trying to say, well, if this person can do this, then I can do it as well, and it will lead to the everyone in the friend group to actually grow like together. But then some people say, well, competition among friends, if friends compete with each other, then it will lead to maybe jealousy arising when one friend cannot meet up with the other friend and all of that. So we are bringing the question to you this afternoon on Speedy Talk. Is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and share with us if you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other or not. And like I said, some people think competition among friends it's okay because it will help everyone to actually grow together, and constantly looking up to your friend. Okay, if my friend can do this much, then I can also do that much as well. I can also step up that much, and it kind of encourages you. If someone in your friend group is doing something, then you feel like you can also do it, since that is in your friend group, and you not just look at it from far and be like, well, those are those people. If this one is your friend, then it can encourage you to do better, whether it's with work, whether it's with a job, whether it's in school. You know how it is. There are different places, even at home with personal lives and all of that. Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other on that ground? And then for people who would say no, like I mentioned earlier, some people believe if friends compete with each other, and share all these goals, and try to compete with each other openly like that, it can lead to jealousy, where some friends start feeling like, well, they are falling back and they are not going as forward as they can on time. You know how it is, because it's not a must that everyone will be on the same level at each point in time. So some friends might start feeling like, well, they are left behind, and then when that envy, that jealousy arises, it can be dangerous. So what do you think? Is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Do you think that's okay? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in right now and let us know if you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other. And then some people would say, well, friends can compete with each other, but then let's not be too much when it becomes like, okay, it's that one particular thing that somebody is doing that you must also do. If you say you want to start a business today, is that the same business that you want to do that our friends want to do as well? I've heard that from somebody, but someone also replied to that person saying, well, if my friend decides to do the same business I'm doing, that one is not a problem. I mean, if he or she excels in it, then it's not a problem. Hello? Okay, maybe call us back. If my friend decides to do what I'm doing, that is not a problem. They have their own life to live and everything like that. So if they say this is this idea I brought that they want to also take it upon themselves, well, let them go and do it. Even if they do it better than me, then it doesn't matter. But then other people will be like, as a friend, if you see that your friend wants something, or your friend brings up an idea and wants to even do something about it, then you should not go ahead to maybe try and snatch that idea. Some people believe that snatching the idea out of your friends hands, and other people believe it's normal and it's supposed to be a normal competition that friends do. So what is your own take? Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? Do you think that's okay? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and I'm with you on the show. My name is Marysyntia, and today we're talking about competition among friends. And the question is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
South Africa. I'm calling from North Bank.
Okay, could you speak up more loudly?
Okay, I'm South Africa from North Bank.
Okay, welcome to the show. So what do you think?
So it's not healthy at all. Not healthy for friends to compete, because that will lead to envy.
Okay.
Yes, and the envy will lead to even death. If you're competing with somebody, some people, when their friends or let me say partner or neighbor is doing better than them, but they develop envy.
Okay.
The envy will develop to something around that may lead to, even let me say, the death of the other person. So I don't think it's healthy.
Okay.
Not healthy at all for friends to compete. Personally, I don't compete and I don't compare my life with anybody. Because we are different. Even let me say, even twins that are born on the same day, it's not even good for them to compete.
Okay.
If they are, see, as they are almost being, let me say, in 1 hour. Let me say in 1 minute. 1 hour is even too far in a 1 minute, but it's not good for them to compete because their destiny is not the same.
Okay.
As far as there are two bodies.
So
it's not healthy for friends to compete.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in to share that with us. We had our caller and he said it's not healthy for friends to compete with each other. He doesn't think that's healthy because it can lead to envy, and that envy is not just on the surface. That envy can lead to so many things, with even bad thoughts of one person even trying to end the other person, and because of the jealousy and all of that. But some people will still tell you that when friends compete with each other, then there is growth. There is growth. Why? And it's kind of fun because you're growing with your friends, and each one of you is trying to make something in life. Hello. Yes, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, we lost that, but maybe call us back. The question is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and share with us if you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other. We heard from one caller and he said it is not healthy for friends to compete with each other because it can lead to jealousy, and the jealousy can even lead to even worse things that are fueled by that jealousy. And I was saying that, well, other people will tell you that if friends compete with each other, then it's kind of like it will help everybody to grow, strengthen everybody. When you see that your friend is actually doing something, then you have the morale to also be able to do it, to also be able to pursue that. And some people say even when it comes to ideas, like even if it's one person that brings an idea. Hello. Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I am Mr. Dungu. I'm calling from Niger State.
Okay, we cannot hear you clearly. Could you maybe move closer to your phone?
Okay. I say I'm Mr. Dondo. I'm calling from Niger State.
Okay, welcome to the show. So what do you think? Is it okay for friends to compete with each other?
Oh, well, it all depends on how we look at it, because there is nothing that happens without disadvantage or advantages.
Okay.
And so competition among friends as well can bring advantage and can also bring disadvantage. So it all depends on the angle one is looking at.
Okay.
In my own opinion, if it is a healthy competition, we are at least there could be a kind of a collaboration among the friends. It could be a kind of a sharing of ideas, at least to make sure that among the peers within that same group, at least they are growing together, as in sharing successes together, and there's no idea of because anything competition it means maybe anything competition is either it's an AD competition or it's an AD competition.
Okay.
So if it is an AD competition, I think it is good.
Okay.
But in a situation whereby someone now is looking is crossing some boundaries, or maybe the other person who must have achieved more successes looking at others as he is the best among them or something like that, it could bring something like envy, jealousy, and there could be even death.
Okay.
But in a situation whereby friends know that they are themselves and they collaborate themselves, they share ideas and try to move on in unison, so to say. Of course, life is all about how you look at it. Personally, I don't compete with anybody.
Okay.
I look at my strength and I look at the strength God has given me and the graces He has supplied for me to walk within my reach. I don't compete with anybody, but at least it's good if the competition is an AD one.
Okay.
It will also be bad if it is not an AD competition. That is how I look at it. It all depends on how one looks at the whole thing.
Okay.
That's one opinion.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dondi, for calling in to share that with us. We heard from our caller, Dondi, and he says, if it is a healthy competition, then it is okay. But if it's not a healthy competition, then it is not okay. And the way he describes it, a healthy competition is where the friends actually share ideas and kind of, help each other up. Even if they are like competing, let it be a friendly one, not the one of where you cannot even share anything. People become secretive, and just everyone wants to make it first, and because in that case you start looking at your friends progress, and sometimes it can lead to envy, sometimes it can lead to jealousy. So if it's a healthy competition, he says yes, but if it's an unhealthy one, it's where it's more like every friend with his own. You just have to look at the other. You're not sharing any ideas and all of that, then no. And he personally, he says his life, he doesn't compete with his friends. He just looks at the strength that God has given him, and he just works with that. So even in this healthy competition, sometimes you'd find that, as a human being, there's that part of many humans, or should I say every human, that you start feeling bad. Even if that person is your friend or your closest, you start feeling bad, not because you're actually jealous of them at first. Maybe at first, okay, you start feeling bad that you're not actually making it to that point that your friends are. And then when you get to that point, if you don't even have friends who are noticing that, okay, you started feeling left out because you're not getting to that point that they are, you would actually go through a lot, because as a human being, that thing is just in every human being, and where you feel bad, and for most human beings, they cannot overcome that, and then it leads to that's anger or jealousy. We started this thing together and we are doing this thing closely, and all of a sudden this person's own is going higher. Even if you have supportive friends, sometimes you start feeling like maybe they are not giving you, or they are not sharing exactly what they are doing. You hear some people say, you're not cutting me in the right soap or something like that. They are not telling you exactly what they are doing, and they just want you to fall behind. So like that brings the question, like, should it even be okay to even start it at all, since it might have other things that would arise out from it? Even though it started as a healthy one, sometimes it might lead to a sore one. So do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. It's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this afternoon on the show, we are talking about competition among friends. Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? Hello? Okay, we lost that, but maybe try and call back. Do you think it's okay for friends to actually compete with each other? Some people say, well, it's okay because it will give the other friends morale to actually grow. Other people saying no, because it will lead to jealousy. Hello?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ojia Paul.
Okay, welcome to the show, Ojia Paul.
Yes. Man, life is all about competition, to my own side.
Okay.
Because without competition, we cannot grow.
Okay.
Right from school, right from primary school even. You will like to be like your other mate. If your mate is that kind of the person that knows book, you may like to also study like him. You understand? In the other side, you go to him and learn from him. Then, like a state now, if some states are bigger than the other state, some states want to be like the other state. All are competition.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes.
So the competition that will lead to sin, to killing, and the other bad things, that is what is bad.
Okay.
Life is all about competition. That is my side. Oh,
okay. All right.
good competition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ojia Paul, for calling in to share that with us. We heard from Paul, and then he gave an example. An example. I would just explain so that we can also view it from that angle. He said life is all about competition because if you look around, you find people who are trying to, if they see something good, they want to be like that person, they want to become like that person, or they want to even do better than that person, because at the end of the day, every human being wants to do better for themselves. So coming back to what he mentioned about even back in primary school, let me give you guys a typical or should I say a literal picture of what it is. Sometimes you see friends, maybe 3 friends in a class, or 2 friends rather, would say, well, you have been carrying first, this time I'll be the one to take first. You watch and see, this time let's bet between 2 of us, this time I'll be the one to carry first, and all of that. And well, you know how it is. And maybe both friends would like to study and all of that, but maybe at the end of the day, just one of the friends takes the first position. Maybe for the next time they still bet again, well, let's do this again, and the same friend takes the first position, and then it gets to a point that there's something, I don't know, even as innocent children back then, something will just get into someone's mind. I've seen a story like that online before, and then maybe one of your friends will say, I'll go and tear this other friend's book so that she will not be able to study for, how it is. So at first it was a healthy competition, right? A competition that was going to help both friends to study hard, but then it became something else. So in that case, now should we now scrap out that whole would you now say friends should not compete with each other, or should they even compete? Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? If you have just joined us, this is Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this afternoon we are talking about competition among friends, and the question is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know what you think. Now, some people would say it's okay, because it will help help each other to actually grow, and maybe to have a reason that they have to do better and all of that. And then others would say, well, no matter how you see it, 3 people cannot just have clear hearts. That if it's 3 friends or even 2 people, they cannot just have clear intentions all the time. Even sometimes people say people with clear intentions sometimes change when they are constantly in that space where they are not making it, or they are not pulling through. Take for instance the example I gave with students who are competing. Okay, who will take the first position this term? Maybe it was an innocent one at first, then it became jealousy. Some people disagree that no matter what, even a healthy competition can become jealousy. So how do you look at it? Do you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know your opinion on our topic of discussion this afternoon. If you think it's okay for friends to actually compete with each other, or you think it's not okay. Even here on the show we have heard different callers, and while someone agrees that, well, competition is just something about life, so that's okay, and someone says it depends on the kind of competition. Like if it's a healthy competition, then it's okay, and if it's not, then then it shouldn't be okay. But sometimes what becomes an unhealthy competition actually started as a healthy competition. In most cases, maybe as a joke or as this, let's all compete, so we'll see what happens. Hello.
Hello, my name is Mega Calvin. I'm calling from this quarter.
Okay, welcome to the show, Kelvin. So what do you think?
Yeah, to my own view, I see using the word competition among peers, friends, is not a healthy idea.
Okay.
Because I prefer to look onto someone like a role model so that I can improve on my way rather than having that concept that we are competing. Because it can lead to envy, jealousy, no matter how it begins. It may be friendly at the start, but it can end up somewhere because of some shortcomings. So I think emulating the idea of model, let me do better, it is a good start and a good beginning. Thank you. That is just.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for calling in to share that with us. We heard from Kelvin, and he says for friend, it's for friends, and he says for himself, like speaking for his own self, he likes to look up to someone, not actually say you're competing with this person. If you see someone doing good for themselves, then maybe look up to them. If your friend is doing good, you look up to them and try to copy what they are doing right. Hello. Okay, we lost that. And like I was saying, Kelvin says you look up to that person as your role model and try to follow what they're doing right, instead of setting it as a competition. Because if you set it as that, well, you might develop envy and all of that. So he doesn't see it like that. But then what the people say about looking at a role model. If you look at someone as your role model, some people think that's like placing the person that far. Maybe you're putting the person far away from you. And sometimes you look at some people and be like, well, this person is my role model. One day I would like to be like him or her. But then the person is still far away from you. But if you bring it down to that level of this person is my friend, and what this person can do, I can do, and you put it like, let's take tests together, something like, let's take this test together. If you pass today, the next day the other friend is coming with, well, let's see tomorrow I'll make sure I read harder and I can pass better tomorrow. Even if it's a business, whatever it is, I'm just using that part because it's the easiest to understand. And let's say if you pass today, tomorrow I'll read harder so that I will pass you. And that becomes something that gingers, let's use the word the ginger, because I know you understand, gingers the next person to actually work harder. Hello. Okay, that's something that gingers the other friend to work harder. But then what we are not sure of is when it gets out of hand, when it gets out of hand, that it becomes envy, and then it becomes something else. Many people are giving a lot of disadvantage when it comes to competing. But at the end of the day, what is your take? How do you view it? If you have just joined us, it's Speedy Talk on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this afternoon, we are talking about competition among friends. And the question is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know what you think, if it's okay for friends to actually compete with each other, and if you think that's something that would maybe make everyone to be more to grow more, or it's something that would tarnish them. Some people even say the moment competition arises among friends, then that friendship is gone. But then some still believe that the competition is something that will ginger you, that will encourage the other friend, or even encourage everyone as friends to actually do better. When you know that you're in a rush to do something, when you have that pressure, when you see someone like you, this thing that they ask someone, does this person have does this person have two head? When you start looking at it like, well, this my friend actually doesn't have two heads at all. So if it's someone my age group or someone I've known, I know his or her strengths or weaknesses as well. So if he can do this, then I can actually do that as well. So well, some people say in that case, when you start looking at it like that and trying to compete, then it will help all the friends to like grow better. But for other people, they'll still disagree that there is no way a competition is going to come out well. There is just no way that it's going to come out safe without jealousy actually coming up. So what do you think? Is it okay for friends to compete with each other? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know if you think it's okay for friends to compete with each other. And it's something that we find in our world. It's not something that we should shy away from, because it happens. It's just that when people don't talk about it, it can seem like it's not happening until maybe someone actually talks about it. That's when maybe you're reminded, or you even think about a story, or you think about one of your friends or a time in your life, and all of that. So things like this actually do happen, and around us you find friends, whether it's school level, whether it's work life, whether it's lifestyle, whatever it is, you would find competition. And the question has always been if it's okay or if it's not. And we have heard from different callers, and I would say at the end of the day, just like we've heard, it's not a one size fits it all answer, because some people believe it should be like, it's something like an open answer, like if the competition is good, then yes, then if it's bad, no. So what if the good one changes to bad? That is something that we still don't know, and at the end of the day, it depends on the kind of people involved in the friendship. And that wraps it up on today's Speedy Talk. I hope you've enjoyed your time here with us, and you have actually learned from what people have been saying. In fact, from everything we have been talking about, I hope you've actually learned, because well, that is the aim. We cannot just ignore things that happen like that. We have to talk about them. And some people might not even know, but I believe today they know some of the sides. Each side has its own advantage and disadvantage. Well, you know that now. And I've been with you on Speedy Talk today. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And also do not go anywhere, because coming up next at 4 p.m. is the Speed Lane, right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. So keep your dial locked in and enjoy music of your life until then.
AskingRadio.com app available on Android and iOS devices. Download now.